Please take a seat.
Thank you so much.
Anuj, congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
Good. So your interview is on 11th Feb.
Right, sir.
3 more days.
Yes, sir.
Good. So introduce yourself to the board.
Good morning, sir. My name is Anuj Agnihotri and I come from Rawatbhata, a small town in Rajasthan, from where I did most of my primary education, sir. So thereafter I moved to Jodhpur to pursue graduation in MBBS from AIIMS Jodhpur, which I completed in 2023. Sir, post that I joined DANIX and currently I'm undergoing probation for the same, sir.
Good. So you are a qualified doctor, then joined DANIX, and now you are applying for IAS, IPS to say so, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the reason?
Sir, for the shift from medical to, sir, going forward, I wanted something that would offer me a platform to take initiatives. And sir, also, I think that civil services aligns better with my personality since it gives immense diversity and dynamicity, and also an opportunity to have a scale of impact, and it only enhances and amplifies what I could have done as a doctor, sir.
Okay, good.
Sir.
So tell me, what is the difference between a civil servant and a public servant?
Sir, a public servant is anybody who is working for a public duty. And public duty is something that in which the public at large or the government has some interest. But civil servant is a class of public servant who are to deal with the executive branch of the government and have to implement the government policies, sir.
So principal of a school,
Sir.
is he a public servant? Is he a civil servant?
Sir, he would be a public servant, sir.
Why?
Sir, since he is concerned with, I'm sorry, sir, I didn't confirm if it was a government school or a private school.
That is the thing you should ask.
I'm sorry, sir.
So principal of a government school, let's say principal of Kendriya Vidyalaya,
Sir.
is he a civil servant or is it a public servant?
Sir, he would be a public servant, sir, since doing a public duty as employed by the government, and sir, he is not directly involved in the executive function of the governance, so he would not be a civil servant.
Very good. So which law of the land defines a public servant?
So one law that comes to my mind is the Prevention of Corruption Act, sir.
Apart from that, IT Act defines,
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
BNS Article 51 defines
Okay, sir.
who is a public servant. So this thing came out in case of a recent judgment.
Okay, sir.
What was that case?
Sir, there was recently this uproar regarding the judicial corruption cases in which there was calls as to if judges are included in the public servant, the meaning of the public servant, sir.
Go back to Kuldeep Singh Sengar case, decision by the High Court. What was that?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware about this specific.
So in Kuldeep Singh Sengar case, High Court gave him a reprieve,
Sir.
stating that MLA doesn't fall in the domain of a public servant.
Sir.
It is not defined
Sir.
under the respective Prevention of Corruption Act, right? Supreme Court overturned it.
Sir.
Why did Supreme Court overturn it?
Sir, it would be clear that since MLAs are in fact amongst the top public servants, sir, so that would not be judicious on the part of High Court to say that.
Good. Moving on to another direction. So, Russia-Ukraine crisis.
Sir.
What is the latest on that?
Sir, what we have observed is that certain talks about ceasefire are being going on between USA brokered peace, and there is some certain degree of flexibility from Ukraine as to agree on the parameters. But sir, as to the current specifics, I'll have to go through it.
Is there any offer of making the Donbas region a demilitarized region?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not aware about it, sir.
पढ़ लो इसके बारे में.
Definitely read about it.
Ukraine is now considering willing to make Donbas a demilitarized zone.
Sure.
Earlier, Russia was wanting both Donetsk and Luhansk to be a part of its own territory.
Right, sir.
80% still under its capture.
Yeah, right, sir.
My last question is, so during the Ukraine war,
Sir.
Government of India brought back its citizens
Sir.
the medical students from Ukraine.
Yes, sir.
What was that operation called?
Sir, it was called Operation Ganga.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Anuj,
Good morning, sir.
you watch stand-up comedy shows.
Right, sir.
Right. So what is the difference between a stand-up comedy and a satirical show?
Sir, stand-up comedy is the larger domain in which there are multiple subgenres, and satire is one form of comedy, sir, in which they tend to pinch on the topic so that they try to bring in some serious issues with a comic tone, sir.
So, do you think cow urine has got some medicinal value, medicinal utility?
Sir, I believe that no clinical studies have been conducted on such on a large scale basis, and only after such studies, sir, we can comment on such utilities.
There is one form of medicine called saurikpa. Have you heard of?
Right, sir.
So, can you just brief about that? What is that?
Sir, it is an integral part of integral school of medicine in India and practiced largely in the Himalayan states of the northeast, sir, and has been linked with the Buddhism also. Sir, it involves the natural practices of meditation and nature-based therapies to heal the person as a whole, sir.
So, what are generic drugs?
So, generic drugs are the one who are different from the branded drugs in the form that they hold the same bioequivalence but are not labeled under a brand and are therefore free from the cost push pressures and are usually very cheap to the public, sir.
So, what is the difference between product patent and process patent? How is it affecting the pharmaceutical industry, especially in countries like India?
So, product patent is the one which the manufacturer or the innovator of the drug gets, and it gets for around 20 years, sir, and it holds absolute control over the product, sir. As far as the process patent is concerned, sir, it refers to the particular ways in which the drug is to be administered, and minor tweaks in that are also patented by such companies. So there is discussion about whether to grant them the process patents because it is used as a tool for evergreening of the patents also.
Okay. So, you won Child Scientist Award at National Children's Science Congress,
Right,
right,
sir.
in 2012. Can you just brief about it? On what basis, like, what did you do? Did you do any project or any demonstration kind of thing, or like, how
Yes,
did
sir.
you get that?
Sir, it was a demonstration of a science project since National Children's Science Congress has a theme that it brings in innovators to solve the common problems of our country. So, sir, I demonstrated a project was called Sun Synchronized Solar Cooker. We were aware about solar cookers, sir, but I did a brief change in that, sir. I proposed that we can keep a shaft based platform on the top of a roof and align with a pulley based system with the use of evaporative Archimedes principle, so that with the sun evaporation we can have the shaft moving according to that rate, and so that the solar cooker would always be pointing toward the sun, in a way increasing the efficiency of the solar
What
cooker.
is Archimedes principle?
Sir, in this case, sir, Archimedes principle says that a block, any weight would only displace that amount of water in equaling to that weight.
Fine. So, can you briefly elaborate about the Nobel Prize concept of the recent 2025?
I'm sorry, sir, I'll forgetting at this moment. I will definitely read into it, sir.
Okay, my last question. Helicobacter pylori
Sir.
is carcinogenic? Yes or no?
Right, sir, it is carcinogenic, sir.
How?
Sir, various studies have shown that it is linked to gastric carcinoma, sir, and prolonged exposure to Helicobacter pylori causes peptic ulcer diseases, and if left untreated, sir, it has seen that it might evolve into gastric carcinoma also, sir.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, Anuj.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Should I start with your home state or your job?
Anything you wish, sir.
Okay. Historical significance of Chittorgarh.
Sir. Sir, Chittorgarh has been the seat of the Sisodia clan who had ruled over the Mewar region, sir. And therefore, it holds immense popularity since it also has a big fort from where the rulers ruled, and it has those thumbs which glorified the win over the neighboring states. Sir, it is also known for facing 3 sieges against the invaders for Chittorgarh, and also is famous for the Johar that was committed by Rani Padmini, sir.
How do you view the exercise of Johar as an option in those times?
Sir, we'll have to see the practice of Johar according to the circumstances of those times. And since it was prevalent that after losing a war, the invaders would usually outrage the modesty and the dignity and the safety of the women of the palaces. And therefore, it was a measure taken, and in fact, the harshest measure taken to protect the safety and the dignity of the women, and also as a show of courage, to show that they would not bend, rather accept death, sir.
Is there any memorial?
Sir, there is no memorial for Johar as such, but there is a pond which signifies the Johar.
What qualities have you imbibed from the folklore of Chittorgarh in your personality?
So the few qualities that I think that I have imbibed from the Chittorgarh's traditions, sir, one is the courage, both physical and moral courage, sir. Secondly, sir, it is the unflinching attitude towards any adversity. Come what may, be it inducements or be it threat of adversity, we should stand our ground and take a principled stance to follow our steadfast principles, sir. And also, sir, I feel that Chittorgarh has demonstrated that there should not be discrimination or divisions between the classes. Since all the classes fought together and in a very united manner, we can see the Kshatriyas, the Bhils, the tribes all fighting together under the banner of Chittorgarh. And sir, this teaches me that unity is our true strength, sir.
Good. Now to your present job.
Sir.
Should Delhi get a full statehood? If yes, why? If not, why?
Sir, I am of the opinion that Delhi holds a sui generis status, and it should continue as it is, having a status of union territory, since not just a territory, it also is the seat for national capital, and therefore giving it a status of a complete state in which the parts of the central government are reduced to a large extent would be prejudicial to the interest of the central government, since it is the power capital of the central government, of the union government, as well as also hosts the international embassies, sir. And sir, for that reason, I believe that it should be continued.
Okay. You are interested in volleyball.
Right, sir.
In general, we can say that all the sports in our country are overshadowed,
Sir.
by one game, and that is cricket.
Right, sir.
How to balance it out?
So to come out of the shadow of cricket, we would need strong investments from the grassroots level itself. We need to invest in the sporting ecosystem and the sporting infrastructure in the schools, sir. Sir, there is evident interest at the grassroots in the games like volleyball and football, sir. But since the people don't get encouragement from the facilities that are provided in the schools, they eventually fall out from there. Also, sir, we need to encourage the corporate broadcasters to broadcast more games of the volleyball and such sports, so that people do get interest, the public interest and the viewership. If it increases, the corporate investments would eventually follow, sir. So these are some of the things, sir, I believe.
Do we have a national game?
Sir, I'm exactly not sure if hockey is our national game, because there was some recent controversy about it. I will read into it, sir.
Okay. My final question to you is regarding the existential problem of the Great Indian Bustard
Right, sir.
in your state.
Yes, sir.
What steps do you have in mind to prevent and preserve it?
Right, sir. Sir, since at the current juncture, we are just left with a very few species of Great Indian Bustard. And to save these species, we definitely now have to work upon not just the nature-based protection measures, but also the artificial measures that would involve artificial genomics, and it would involve breeding of great bustards in a controlled environment, sir. And apart from it, we also need to work on the threats that are faced by it, and to reduce those threats in a sustainable manner is what would be needed, sir.
Can you tell us 2 or 3 main threats?
Sir, one of the threats that was mentioned by Supreme Court also is the overhead lines, sir. So what it proposed was to lay it underground, and that could be one of the solutions, sir. And also the nutrition and the food availability in the region, sir, has to be increased, and we can enhance it through artificial means and not just let them fight for themselves.
Okay.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Anuj,
Good morning,
come
sir.
from Rajasthan.
Right, sir.
What is Rajasthan's per capita income?
I'm sorry, sir, I'm not exactly aware about it.
It doesn't matter. What is India's per capita income?
Sir, I am not exactly aware about it, but I'll take it as a guess, and it is somewhere around 2,50,000, sir.
Okay, 2.22,
Right, sir.
2.5 somewhere. Okay. What percent of GDP Rajasthan contributes? India's GDP.
Sir, Rajasthan contributes around 5% of India's GDP. Sir.
And how much of it comes from tourism?
Uh,
What percent of Rajasthan's
Right, sir.
GDP comes from tourism?
Sir, tourism contributes roughly 12 to 14% of Rajasthan GDP. Yes.
Maybe 15, 17%.
Okay.
Okay. So what is it that Rajasthan has done
Sir.
that the other state has not been able to do?
Sir, as far as tourism is concerned, sir, the thing is that Rajasthan holds a natural advantage over other states since it holds immense heritage potential and the physiographic diversity that Rajasthan has. So it naturally has an advantage over other states for tourism. But sir, apart from it, it also has nurtured and created a tourism ecosystem, be it hospitality and ranging from high-end hotels to also bringing in low-end values and budget hotels also. Also, Rajasthan has worked upon communication and marketing and has branded itself as a state definitely to be involved in the itinerary, sir. And so these are the reasons I believe, sir.
You live in Bhavanagar.
Right, sir.
What was Homi Bhabha's contribution to India?
Sir, Homi Bhabha was a very visionary scientist who formulated India's 3-step nuclear program towards achieving energy independence. Apart from it, he was also instrumental in laying the foundations for India's space program, sir. And also, he was an institutional builder, and therefore he laid the foundations of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and Bhabha Atomic Research Center, sir, and that have proved their value over the time with the progress of nuclear power in India, sir.
Okay. So there's a lot of talk about orange economy.
Right, sir.
What is it?
Sir, orange economy pertains to the economy that is driven by creativity, culture and intellectual property, sir. And the Honorable Prime Minister has also invigorated this, that we need to support orange economy since it is going to be the future of our digital generation, and a lot can be done in it, sir.
So what percentage of Indian economy is contributed by manufacturing sector?
Sir, by manufacturing contributes roughly 13% of India's GDP.
That is our bane.
Right, sir.
That is where the lot of emphasis that
Right, sir.
if India is to improve its economy,
Sir.
it should become a manufacturing hub.
Right, sir.
That has been the stated objective
Right, sir.
of the government also.
Sir.
Now this sudden emphasis on the orange economy,
Sir.
is it contrary to that?
Sir, I would not say that it is contrary. We can proceed with the development of both the sectors. Manufacturing definitely needs support. But sir, since orange economy is going to be the future, and as we are hooking more, as we are getting glued to our mobiles and we are consuming a lot of content, so we definitely need to tap those markets also. And a huge potential awaits for India, sir, there.
So the recent economic survey
Sir.
has also noticed and noted that this, what you mentioned as gluing to the mobile, okay?
Sir.
Actually we need to detox
Right,
ourselves.
Sir.
So on the one hand we are saying that we need to detox, and we are promoting the same activity.
Sir. Sir, the dichotomy is to be explained in this way that, sir, the digital generation is going to be there. Since now internet and mobiles have penetrated deep in our normal activities, sir. So we cannot say that we can exclude it to the whole. But what the mindset behind economic surveys caution was that we need to manage it to a level that it doesn't become a public health threat, sir. Because a longer time spending time on the internet and mobile phones is posing serious challenges, sir.
So the last question.
Sir.
3 reforms in bureaucracy,
Sir.
that you would take if you are in a position.
Sir. Sir, I have to take 3 reforms. Then the first one would be, sir, I would try to tinker with the appraisal process in the system. Sir, I will rather than having an ACR based annual appraisal process, sir, I would try to bring in a 360-degree approach in which inputs are being taken from seniors, colleagues, and the juniors also. And in fact, we can incorporate the feedback from the public also if there is a public facing setup. Secondly, sir, I would try to institutionalize accountability. We have institutionalized transparency through RTI, but we need to take steps for accountability institutionalizing also. So with a clear set of responsibility and accountability towards the officer, we can also hold them accountable. Thirdly, sir, I feel that a lot more needs to be done on making the bureaucrats tax savvy and adopt to the newer modalities and the changing technology so that they take up with pace in the changing environment.
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, Anuj.
Good morning, sir.
What is the importance of Rawat Bhata?
Sir, Rawat Bhata is known as the nuclear city of India since it holds the largest units of nuclear power plant in a single locality, sir. And not just nuclear power plant, it also holds a heavy water plant that is a utility for nuclear power, and a recently proposed nuclear fuel complex is also coming there.
And which is the largest fort in India?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware that which is the largest fort, but okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening me, sir.
Okay, we were talking about Jawhar, and
Right,
probably you was trying to justify that in what circumstances it was done. Tell me how Jawhar is different from Sati.
Sir, Sati was a practice which forced a woman to commit to such harshest measure, to such sit on the funeral pyre of her husband, and this was in a way forced by the society on the married women. But Jawhar was a practice that was adopted and came from inside, sir, and that was in fact to protect the dignity and the safety of the women, and it was a collective decision since it has also to be seen in.
Do you think 16,000 queens, they collectively decided to commit Jawhar? Everyone was consulted and then they decided?
Sir,
It's just the top person who decides and then it's done. Same is in the Sati.
Sir, will also
Ultimately, woman ends her life.
Right, sir.
So how can you justify Jawhar and say Sati is wrong?
Sir, we'll also have to see Jawhar along with the practice of Shaka. So, sir, it was not as if just women are sacrificing their lives. It was also their male counterparts who were committing themselves towards the supreme sacrifice, sir. And Sati was not cannot be drawn parallel to Jawhar, sir, because of the same reason. And it was
the mass Sati, that's all.
Sir, I would say that in Sati, the idea or the rationale was not justifiable, sir, as to why
You
should.
see, the social pressure in both
Sir.
the cases is such that the woman doesn't have any say.
Sir,
Maybe the top Padmavati might have decided and everyone has to fall in line. So, in this 21st century, if you are justifying Jawhar,
sir,
then how you will carry on in civil services? What will be the status of women in your district?
sir, my main point was that at that time, a lot of threat was to the dignity and safety of the women was there from the invaders, sir.
Women could have fought like Lakshmi Bai fought.
Right,
Rani
sir.
Lakshmi Bai. See, fighting and dying is different. And being sitting on fire and ultimately dying.
Sir.
So Jawhar was also after that you don't find a name of Jawhar at all,
Yes, sir. It was
because had it been good, it could have been continued now.
right, sir.
Okay, so this is something. Now tell me, Danix
Right, sir.
and Agmut.
Sir.
So Agmut, which are the feeder cadres of Agmut?
Sir, for Agmut, Danix is definitely one feeder cadre. Then Goa Civil Services is there. Sir, Arunachal Civil Services is also there. Apart from it, sir, Pondix for Pondicherry is also a feeder cadre for it. Sir, right now the Jammu Kashmir Administrative Services (JKS) is also considered feeder service, sir. So, sir, these are the ones. Okay, sir. Mizoram, I'm not exactly sure about the local services of there, sir. But
They will be because
right, sir.
Mizoram and so this kind of services, like
Sir.
having a Danix cadre or Danips cadre,
Sir.
Chandigarh comes where? Chandigarh comes in Danix or not?
Sir, we don't have an ex-cadre post in Chandigarh, sir. So since Chandigarh conventionally has held officers from Punjab Civil Services as well as Haryana Administrative Services, sir.
But
And
they have their own officers also who are promoted.
right, sir. But from the Chandigarh Civil Services,
No, just find out because it has, they have also, there was a talk that they have to be ready to go anywhere in India,
right, sir.
in Agmut.
Okay, sir.
And they were still saying that we want to stay in Chandigarh.
Okay, sir. I'll read about
So
it.
Chandigarh has, because it's a UT.
Right, sir.
Okay. Good governance.
Sir.
Tell something from the Andaman Nicobar Islands. This is one example of good governance from Andaman Nicobar Islands.
Sir. So may I have a moment, please?
Yeah.
So I would say that one initiative was of public participation. A lot of public participation is involved in the formulation of the policies and as well as the implementation. Since Andaman holds immense tribal populations, sir, and therefore their views are incorporated in the decisions as to be taken, whether it is tourism policy or the power policy, sir, that way.
Okay. So that way you see.
Yes, sir.
Now, being a doctor, and you talked about generic drugs.
Right, sir.
So, are they patented?
No, sir, generic drugs are not patented, sir.
They have a patent. And you just talked about it. They have process patent.
Oh, sir. Sir, I was referring to the product patents and...
Yeah, because our Patent Act provides two types of
Right,
patents.
sir.
And that is a product and this is a process.
Sure,
So, they follow slightly different process.
Right, sir.
And they have process patent.
Right, sir.
Okay. And my last question is
Sir.
that what is viscera
Sir.
and why it is preserved?
Sir, viscera are the internal organs of our body and has to be preserved in the context of an autopsy, so that it has it holds the immense evidentiary value, sir.
No, but in every case it is preserved, or in only selected case it is preserved?
Sir, it would depend upon the circumstances in which the person would have died. If there is suspicion that he had consumed certain poisons, or if it was consumed some gases, so accordingly those viscera would be preserved, sir.
Yeah, basically when the cause of death
Yes.
cannot be determined
Right, sir.
during the post-mortem, that time viscera is preserved so that they
Right, sir.
test for poisoning, etc. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
So Anuj, your interview is formally over.
Thank you, sir.
How did it go?
Sir, I felt it nice, sir, and it was quite informative to have certain different perspectives.
Okay. So a couple of observations. Since just 3 days are left for your interview,
Right.
you are very good. You have done enough of studies for yourself.
Sir.
So first, be sure that there is no knowledge gap as such, right? Now, so within these 3-4 days, what you need to do is just try to consolidate your gains.
Sir.
No more mocks after today.
Right,
My advice, it's up to you.
Yes, sir.
These 3 days, just build up on the gains which you have made till date, right? In some questions, just try to reduce the length of the answer.
Right, sir.
कोशिश हमेशा ये करो कि the most important point should come in first 30-40 seconds.
Right, sir.
है ना?
Right,
Because the you have senior citizens. आप एक बार इंटरव्यू में appear हो रखे हो.
Right.
So you are very much aware,
Right.
that the attention span is also quite limited.
Sir.
Third and most important point, don't bring in words like Johar and Sati into the realm of discussion.
Sir.
There is a fair chance that, in 21st century, if we are trying to justify in the name of the valor and dignity,
Sir.
it may not be taken in that spirit by the board,
Right, sir.
right?
Right.
So, steer clear of any of these issues,
Sure, sir.
right?
Sure, sir.
Last but not the least, in questions where we are not sure,
Right,
no need to take a guess.
Yes.
Andaman's good governance, a very roundabout answer.
Yes, sir.
No need to give.
Right.
Sir, I have not been there, I don't know. Period.
Yes, sir.
Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So, just because you are in Danix, it doesn't mean that you should be answerable to each and every question.
Yes, sir.
You are a new officer and
Yes,
you
sir.
working here in UTCS Shadara.
Yes, sir.
मुझे नहीं पता है.
Right, sir.
Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So just keep these aspects in mind.
Sir.
You are absolutely right. you have the right kind of a composure, the way your delivery is perfect. Tie थोड़ी अपनी
Right.
solid color की कर लेना.
Sure, sir.
Maybe something like black, blue or grey, whatever be. है ना? Otherwise, it's perfectly all right.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Anuj,
Yes.
you did well.
Thank you, sir.
Only one thing which I wanted to mention is your optional is medical science and you're a doctor. That recent developments, Nobel Prize 2025, you should have answered.
Sure.
No excuse because it's your field, it's your optional, right?
Sir.
So few things, current affairs related thing, but Nobel Prize kind of thing, current
Definitely.
affairs, refresh.
Sure,
Whatever is related to medical science
Yes, sir.
and health issues.
Sure, sir.
Because certain excuses cannot be accepted.
Right, sir.
That's all, right? Otherwise, you did very well.
Thank you, sir.
Nothing much to add,
Sir.
except that watch movies
Right, sir.
for 3 days, relax, go with a fresh mind, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
You give a very good account of yourself.
Thank you.
So keep doing the good work.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, very good. Keep it up.
Sir.
Learn to say no when you don't know the answer.
Right, sir.
That's all. And these tricky questions,
Yes, sir.
you need to have an exit strategy.
Yes, sir.
You come out of it that I don't support it at all
Sir.
in 21st century.
Sir.
Because somebody in the board
Yes, sir.
is going to take objection to it.
Right, sir.
That Jawhar and you are glorifying it again and again.
Right.
These need to be told in a subdued manner if asked.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all. Okay.
And that too, if you're the lady member,
Yes, sir.
you remember you
Then you have
interact, this thing will go.
Yes.
है ना? 12th, Bangladesh elections are there.
Yes.
Be thorough with that. EI Impact Summit is there on 18/20th. Census going to start on 1st April.
Yes, sir.
Be sure on these.
Right, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All the best, and
Thank you,
we're quite hopeful that you'll come out with flying colors.
Yeah, yeah.
And we hope to see your list, name in the list, quite high order.
So I
Okay?
just had one question.
Yeah.
Sir, at the end of the interview, the board often asks that, do you have some question for us? So
Yeah.
how should we respond to that?
It's
Just say no. That's
No,
all.
nothing.
nothing.
Because they are not going to give you any
Yeah.
feedback.
Yeah.
So,
It's a courtesy which is
Yeah.
being extended.
I am
to
grateful for the interaction.
Yeah, that
I'm
is the best
thankful,
part.
yeah.
I'm about to tell that.
Right,
I'm grateful for the interactions. That was a learning experience. Period.
so you can't ask how many marks you are giving. What else you need from that?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It was a
Okay.
great experience.
All the best.